Jackass. Yes, the narrative. Maybe you should go offline and then well, weren't you testing for 15 minutes? Oh my god. You're such a clown.
There we go. Because like you gotta check audio, you gotta check a whole bunch of things. You gotta be listening to the audio as you're doing it as well.
Mm.
Like it's not like this you just prep and it just fixes itself.
Sounds like an excuse.
It definitely is an excuse.
Shut the fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? Copy video URL. What the hell is this shit? Go away, stream
Tell me
fast.
when you're on. Tell me when it's on.
Yeah. My Blu-ray thing comes up. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, announcement general. Hello, testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Hello, testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Alright, that is great now. That is perfect. Alright, let's start the review. This will be cut off in post, you know.
I hope.
Hello, welcome to the review of episode 3 of Cour 1 Thousand Year Blood War. This episode starts off with Quickie versus Ichigo. Some of this has some good
Tailgate.
animation. Yeah. I never know how to actually say his name.
Wait, I don't know if it's an Australian thing or if it's, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're
Because
right.
I've heard Kurge, I've heard Quipke, I've heard.
No, you have not.
I have.
There cannot be a human being that says quickie.
What, you never.
What did you?
quickie, like quill
Oh
and then
god.
gi.
Okay, well, the
Quickie.
audience can understand. You're gonna say Kilgay.
But like
How do you say it again?
Kurge is like saying it with
Kurg.
a K.
You're gonna say Kurgay. Are you gonna say it?
There's Kurge and there's like quickie. Quickie is how I
Okay.
say it usually, but like I've heard Kurge.
I'm saying Kilgay. All right.
Anyway,
So just so
this
everyone's
guy
clear
said
on
starts
who's
with
being
Q.
talked about. Nazi.
Yeah, that guy.
All right.
Yeah,
K Nazi. Okay, we're gonna
Q
Q
Nazi.
Nazi. Q. Why did I say K? Q Nazi. Okay, I'm calling him a Q Nazi.
Because I was saying Kurge. I've heard
Yeah.
that
You're
pronunciation. Like Zed and those guys, they say Kurge.
okay. Well, they're
Okay,
wrong. But
wait.
continue.
Misato is the stan of this guy, right? How does he say it?
I haven't talked to Mizuto in years.
Oh my god, damn. All right.
Continue, my friend.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's that guy versus Ichigo in that encounter. Like they have like a nice. It's a little bit of a nice action sequence. Like it's limited though, like because like they're not getting to a proper fight because like there's talking here and there with each other. You know, one person shit talks the other guy. One Ichigo catches his arrows. You know, obviously humiliates him, etc. Like it's a good flow, good animation. Dialogue is good, but like it's like limited action. Um, there's good music in it and there's good sound effects. I rated that scene like a 6. What did you think of the early Nazi guy versus Ichigo encounter? What did you think of him?
Great. I mean, great start already. It's like you said. It's very short, but I mean, it's building. It's building up to the
Yeah,
fact that this guy's gonna have more than just a base ability. I mean, consider. I mean, when you contrast it with Eburn, like it's kind of weird because the Eburn is way more quick paced, but it's very simple.
and
While this one, you can actually see that there's gonna be a build up to more than just base kill gay abilities. So I think it's very promising start for it to be the first real fight. I would say.
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, what would you consider the first real fight? Would it be, Asnod and Byakuya? Would it be all the way up to Yamamoto and
It's
Yuhabak?
probably
Like,
as it's
yeah,
probably as not that sequence, but this is the
yeah,
real
I,
fight.
I would consider this to be the sprinkling of the first fight. It's just cut up, But that's a lot of Bleach fights. Bleach fights have always been cut up. You don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
get a lot of
and
straight
it
fights. I mean, that's
changes
why.
and changes between sequences as fights go
No, that's
on.
why it's
Yeah,
cut up a lot. Like,
yeah,
I mean, Ulquiorra and Ichigo is like one of the most iconic fights. That was cut the fuck up, like through multiple stages.
yeah. Anyway, I
But
gave
yeah,
the scene a 6. If you were to put a
yeah,
number on this scene, what would you think of it?
I agree with you.
Okay. Mayuri's report to Yama. So the dialogue for this situation is good, and it's like got good sound and like good sound effects, but everything else is like limited. But the reason for that is it's not supposed to be that because it's just Mayuri reporting to Yama and then Yamamoto giving his big speech, his big wartime speech, which is like it's reasonable that there's like very limited action and a limited animation. It flows well if you're like a Yamamoto fan because like there's very meant to be very little of it because it's just like one person talks to the other person and then the other person just has a speech to everyone.
Hmm.
So I
That was part of the trailer bait too. Missed the panning
yeah
shots of all the captains.
yeah. Anyway, I marked this as a 4. And I rated it. It's a good scene if you're like a super Yama fan because like that's who it's
You also
entertaining
do
to.
get all the captains like shown,
Yeah, but they're
which is
just
a nice
standing
feel.
there.
You finally get the. I mean, I mean, again, compared to like, I mean, people were happy as hell just to see Ikaku, animated for the first time in more than a decade. So like, say, I
Yeah,
mean, this would be the first full. I mean, they're just standing, but like, come on, like, people want finally
Yeah,
see Shinji or Unohana, how they look like.
yeah, yeah.
And that
No,
was nice.
and Komamura being a big doggo, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I put this as a 4. It could might be a little bit higher. Maybe this is my stuff coming through, my own bias coming
Mhm.
through. Quickie versus Ichigo. This is pre-ball standing. So this leads up
Mhm.
to where he goes ball standing. I put good animation, good flow, dialogue is good. Some action, some music, and good sound effects. So this is where they do that big fight up until Quipke does that speech about he talks a little bit too much about Uru. Says that
Mhm.
Uru's arrows is just
Foreshadowing.
yeah, all the foreshadowing. And then he goes, "Oh, I talk a little bit too much." Silence is golden, something along those lines, and then he gets a message from Yearwalk to take down Ichigo here, and then that's when he goes full standing. So that's where that scene
Mhm.
ends.
The reveal too about comparing it with Oryu's original transformation from Soul Society too.
Yeah, yeah, as well. The Let's Still.
Dropping
Yeah, he
dropping
talks about
that
the
old
lore
history.
dump. Yeah. Then Ichigo's like, "Oh, I'll be a little bit sad if Uru turned into something like you." Blah
Yeah, it
blah blah.
looks like that. Yeah.
Anyway, it's good animation, good flow. Dialogue's good. Some action, some music, good sound effects. I rated this episode a 6. I could probably go a 7. I'd have to look at the
Episode?
full standing because his full standing looks really good.
Yeah.
Now, what would you rate that sequence?
Yeah, 7. 7 is, I think, reasonable.
Okay, yeah, that's fine,
Definitely one of the memorable scenes from Core 1.
definitely. Now the next sequence after that is York's decoration of invading Soul Society. This is where right after he knows that Quickie and Nazi guy isn't fighting Ichigo. Yewok declares his invasion. Um, we got nice bits of in animation of like York walking around the place, but obviously it's very limited because it's just people walking around. Him talking to other people, and then like we kind of got that. Towards the end, we got those still shots of like all the Stone Ridders going to invade Soul Society.
Yeah. Kind of inverse of like also, seeing the captains, you also now see all like a majority of the Stern Ritter too, which is
Yeah,
something where it's like rewarding. It's who's gonna be important, who's gonna be these villains,
yeah,
how
yeah,
are they gonna fight?
yeah, definitely. So I
I mean, for the Espada too, it took a while. I mean, but that's different between the pacing. But for the Espada, it took a while just to see, for example, the all of them all in once, and here you get a lot of
yeah, the Sparta
great
table scene.
dump. Yeah, but you get a lot of good dumping of like, oh, this is what the enemy looks like, and it's always fun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And now, I rated the scene a 5. Um, I rated the sequence a little bit higher than the Yamamoto one because it seems like there was more going on for it than the other one.
Mhm,
Because like you get the whole animation of like York running, walking around. And he's like, "Oh, isn't it obvious? We're going to invade Soul Society."
mhm.
Like we get that nice little
Also,
conversation he has, even with some random guy that was just like, "Wait, what are we doing?"
good music too.
Yeah, yeah, good music too.
Good music in this episode,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, yeah. Broadway across all the boards. Yeah, good sounds, good sound effects. Except when we'll get to it, I'll talk about it. Um,
Mhm.
So I'm put this at a 5. I could probably move this up to a 6 for her. I could go up to a 6. What did you think of it?
Comparing it to the scene with Yamamoto, yeah, it's definitely a better scene. I would say 5.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll agree with you. All right. So next scene after Ichigo versus Quippy. So this is Quippy in Vol standing now. So this is after that whole sequence,
I
and we
feel like
got
you're
that.
saying it with an F now. Oh, you're saying Quiffy now.
He's okay. His name changes, right?
Oh, it doesn't.
I've heard 3 pronunciations of this word. I might even make some up as I go
I
along.
feel like no, but I was fine with. I was like, okay, fine, if he's gonna say it like that. But I feel like I feel like you're changing your own pronunciation at this point.
I might start calling him Krill from now on.
Well, oh, okay, so yeah, cue Nazis fighting. Yes, he's Volstandig.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is good animation. Good flow. Dialogue's good. There's some action in it. Good music, good sound effects. But this is the sequence where that you know that little Dragon
Looping,
Ball Z fight repeat animation thing that happens.
looping,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
the
looping. Yeah,
looping
that
with the
does.
exposition dump.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess exposition dump. I mean,
I guess
I mean,
they kind of
it
had to
was more a
do it.
little more. It was a little more character driven than just exposition, but it was sacrificed with the looping. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think people were very cynical. I mean, do you remember before like the the season actually the core one actually started that people were arguing that like there was gonna be no movement in these fights? Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
Like for some reason, people were very cynical about the action, and yet the big meme was that there's no move, there's not gonna be any movement, and
I'm
and then that
that surprises
that
me.
early loop. Yeah, no, that was a big thing. Like it wasn't. I didn't consider it valid at all. But for
Mm.
some reason, that was just a big thing that, based on what people were seeing from the actions, like, oh, there's not going to be a lot of movement.
There is
Movement's going to be bad.
I think there was a lot of cynicalism towards the Bleach anime. I think a lot of it was
Yeah, no, no, I
unfounded.
get. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
it wasn't really credence, but like that looping at episode 3 already was kind of fueling the fires, and then based on the next, I mean, we'll talk about it in the future. The next episode, like, yeah, that was completely invalid. But like, looping early on was not a really good sign for a lot of the cynics.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
This soon, you know. It does make you wonder why they actually did then, because like clearly their budgeting was not gonna be a problem this early on. So
Yeah, well, I mean, they were really throwing the budget at it at this time. Like, Quippy's
yeah,
Volstani looks really good. Um,
exactly.
and it's just blue.
But
Like,
yeah,
literally, it's just blue, a blue Volstani with wings. But they made it look really good with all the nice effects that they put over the top of it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, because what it is literally just a blue guy with wings.
Blue guy with wings. You're a blue guy with wings. Continue.
And he has a really strange sounding name. They constantly get wrong. Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
um I did write down here the dialogue is probably what um was probably what messed up parts of the animation. Like that's probably why the looping
Mhm.
happened. Was so quick he could do his exposition.
Yeah.
Um but all in all, like it's good. I wouldn't if this was all it was, I never would have complained about the animation later, honestly. Like I don't
Yeah.
think it's that bad. It's not like an atrocity. Like it's okay. I'm not like too bothered about it. Like I even rated this sequence a 6.
Hmm.
Like it didn't bother me that much. Now this then segues into the Aeon versus Quippy. He Quippy
Fun
tries to
reveal.
do
Very
yeah
fun.
yeah he tries to do his Pishgil. Um, attack.
Hmm.
This is against Orihime Chad and all that, not just No, it was against Ichigo. It's just they were affected over by a side effect, basically. Not a side effect, but like the AoE, the splash of everything being absorbed. Anyway, so equip Aeon, off guard, Q Man. Um, there's some nice action, nice animations. Some
Q-Tip. His name is Q-Tip.
Q-tip. His name's officially Q-tip.
Exactly.
Some flow dialogue is good. There's not much. Actually, no, there was because we get Aeon hitting Quippy, and then like he, roars. Like that's a nice little bit of a sequence. I shouldn't say limited action. I should probably raise that a little bit higher, to be honest. Good music, good sound effects, like we said. Um, like you said. I rated this part 5. What did you think of that sequence?
It was definitely a nice walk up change. I mean, if you point is to show the strength of Kilgate, but like, cause I mean, I feel like Ion was handled better in the original anime, but like, they serve different purposes, so that's very subjective to
Yeah,
comment that. But it was nice, but it wasn't special, but it was just nice. So 5, is very fair to say.
yeah, definitely. Now, this is where the sound effects and the stuff comes into it because this is now the Uru questioning Ryukun in the library. E.g., Ryukun
Okay.
just says, "Get the fuck out, Uru," and then Uru's like, "No, I deserve to know." And obviously, like, there's not much stuff happening here, so that's why I'm saying I would say limited animation, no action. There was no music in this sequence as well, but and no sounds. But that makes sense because like it's dialogue. The
Mm.
music might distract from what the characters are saying, but maybe they could change some things there, maybe a little bit. Could have maybe like a little bit of sound,
Yeah.
but I put it as a 5. So like I was very charitable to this little scene because like it was good. Like the dialogue there was nice and it's like good flow to it because you can see that Ryu and Ryukin dynamic.
Yeah.
Which is heavily Ryukin doesn't give a shit about Quincy's and Ryu does.
What kind of doctor is he again?
I don't know. Because
Is he a
apparently
surgeon? Is he like
yeah, he's a surgeon.
is he pediatric? Is he
No,
like
he's a surgeon because he re-stitched
Oh,
up
he's a surgeon. Okay.
in the Lost Agent arc, Uru actually lost his arm, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like, Ginger actually cut it off.
Yeah. Okay.
And, like, he stitched them up. He was the one that fixed them up. Which was, that scene was funny.
I mean, yeah, like this kind of line of work is very vigorous and very busy, so like Uri's probably inconveniencing the fuck out of him right now,
Yeah, basically.
honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I mean, he was in his office when, I mean, this is ahead. He was in his office. He was working when the fucking universe was collapsing because of Senjumaru. He's a busy guy.
could imagine him behind a knife and all that stuff is all happening and he's just like,
Oryu was
fucking
dying,
pricks.
and this guy's in his office.
Ruruka's just like, fucking Ruruk. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, he's trying to look up, like, like different ways to go to, for the knife to, you know, th- relieve tension on a rotator cuff. Like, he's busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, it's good. I rated this sequence a 5. What would you rate it?
Probably, I mean, probably a 3. That fucking run was so goofy.
Oh no, that's later. That's later. But I thought that
Oh, that's later.
enhances
Okay.
the charm of the scene. The Uru
It's
Disney Princess Run.
practically Princess Run. Can't believe it's later. All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
And fine when 10-4.
yeah,
This
you
doesn't have
you
fun.
marked it as 4 just for the run alone.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is Yuki and Shino. So this is where Shino's like, "Oh, why are we even fighting?" And then
Abarame?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yuki and
Wrong Shino.
Shino. Those two, the people at the start.
Yeah, yeah. And Aizen, right?
Surfer Aizen.
Yeah.
Well, the Aizen look alike. But I'm guessing Kubo reuses assets because like there's a lot of people that seem to have that hairline, like that look, that Aizen look
Yeah.
about them for villains. With the hair and the structure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the way Kubo just draws his people. His characters.
But continue.
Anyway, so this is where Yuki and Shino, they're like kind of talking to each other and they're just like, oh, why are we even fighting, blah blah blah, and then like Shino's like, oh, I don't remember, and then like that's when Surfer Aizen, the Aizen look-alike teacher guy comes in and is like, oh yeah. That gets explained a little bit later, but like that's where it starts from because we get that kind of that sequence being talked about over the next episode, which is where the Disney Princess Run. No, that happens later because Uru just sneaks into Ryugun's office. Because we kind of get that from a Quincy's perspective and a story's perspective of what originally happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Over the next couple of scenes. So I rated this scene a 5. What did you think of it?
4. Or maybe even 3. It could definitely been explained by someone better.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
What squad was this?
I don't even know what squad they are. I know this
Yeah,
might be Ukatake's, I think.
And do Nukitake!
Eh. He's not. He might be have
He wasn't
tuberculosis.
sick!
He might not be able to
He
explain
was...
it.
No, he was... He fought someone, remember?
That's why the
he
fight never
technically
happened.
fought someone.
That's why the fight never happened. Ukatake just coughed up and fell on the ground.
No, he was fighting! You'll have to prove that he wasn't fighting. There's more proof that he fought than he didn't.
Well, I mean, he fought. We know one scene that he fought, but we didn't know what happened afterwards.
Exactly. No, I'm just saying.
I know.
He was
I know
on
what
the
you're getting at.
battlefield, so it should have been him. It should have been him. It's not that hard to have made someone important. Or Rukia. Rukia's in the fucking. That's her squad too.
Yeah.
Heights. I mean, I understand that, like. But
I guess it's like they
that's
might
giving
not have
context.
known. They might not have known.
We are
That might be it.
Yeah, I mean, we are reviewing. We are technically reviewing this in a vacuum, and in a vacuum, it should not have been some random ass dude. I mean,
That part's fair. I guess
unless
we're kind of trying to keep up that Yuki and Shino. I don't know what Kubo was necessarily thinking at the start.
no. I mean, I'm fine with those two being the ones that are explained too. I'm just like the explainer was just random. I mean, unless this was supposed to build a detachment, so like, oh my god, I cannot believe he died against
Yeah.
Strugrum. That was he was my favorite exposition explainer.
Yeah, that's kind of it. They wanted this Surfer Aizen look-alike to get absolutely demolished by Jurum. They probably just wanted that nice little scene for the intro.
Yeah, it's little.
So they're doing
little
like a
weak.
lot of throwaway characters, in a sense.
Pretty lame. Pretty lazy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess you want
Alright,
Ukatake
yeah.
to die the Jurum really quickly.
No, that's four.
Or do you reckon if Ukutaka was there, right, he would suddenly have his tuberculosis stroke and then fall to the ground and Jugram would have left him alone?
No, you know what's funny is that never mind. I was about to say that if he was fighting the balance, then his tuberculosis would have actually been cured. But like this
His
guy is not the
tuberculosis would have
balance.
been cured.
Yeah, because the balance set out. So now he's like, oh, I'm balanced. Now I'm actually like relatively strong.
Yeah.
But like this guy, yeah, he's a fake. He does not balance the fight whatsoever.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he dies immediately.
No, no, I'm just saying, no, no, he
Yeah.
balances, quote
Yeah.
unquote, everything to his favor, which that's not how balancing works.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what he does, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, theoretically, it should cure Okitake.
It's funny how, yeah, so Jugram, he attacks on, right? So he's the one that's initiating the imbalance there. And then they block it to balance it out. But then suddenly, that good fortune is something that he balances out to kill them.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's funny that, so it's actually an imbalance, not a balance.
we can talk about this off the stream, but we should come up with a new word for the B for him because like balance is not the word. We could do that off stream though.
Well, I mean, I already know what Ray's gonna say. Oh, it would be the broken. B for the broken.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, Kubo is very meta. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
he's very ironic, so he probably could do that.
Yeah.
It's still not as okay. All right, all right. Continue, continue.
Anyway,
This is
that
a bit of a
scene
tangent.
I'll rate 5. No, it's good. It's good for that sort of stuff happen.
All right, and
I rate the scene a
I'll
5.
meet you halfway and then do four.
Yeah, sure. Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
I
I
think I
don't mind
said
that.
three even.
Yeah, yeah. It's just more so it
I'll
was like a good flow of like a conversation. That's all I was like rating it
yeah,
like a little bit higher than that. Like the scene works.
yeah.
Now the next one is sneaks into Ryuken's office. And this is where he steals the book from Ryuken's cupboard and like he reads it. And then like he's
Hmm.
narrating, as he reads through the book, blah blah blah.
He reads through like the most non revealing sentences.
Yeah, yeah. And then like there's like two pages that are stuck together. I'm guessing I don't know what happened to those pages. They must have gotten glued somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's limited um animation of course because we just see Uru in his office opening up a desk and grabbing a book. There's like some flow to it. Dialogue is like okay because Uru isn't narrating to himself. No action, some music, no sound effects. I already seen this
Narrativing.
before, narratively,
Yeah.
but narrative.
Yeah, four is great.
Yeah. And now I got Safa Eisen is telling Yuki and Shino about the Quincy dilemma. Limited animation, good flow, dialogue is good because you get like that nice talking to, and then like Shino at the end of it is like, "But are we the soldiers? Are we right in this? Are we moral? You know, are we the baddies?"
Hmm.
Question. So I rated the scene a 5. What did you think of it?
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is the sequence where Yama calls Mayuri into his office. Mayuri defends himself. The EG. Yama blames Mayuri for not um telling him about the deaths. Him killing him genociding basically Ryukin not Ryukin Rukongai villages. Him getting rid of
Yeah, I
all
mean
those people, yeah.
this was really poorly handled.
Yeah.
There were multiple subplots that were just poorly handled in this. And this one is a huge
Yeah,
closing the book of like, yeah, we really didn't put that much focus on this one.
yeah, yeah. There's limited animation that good. It's like kind of like a good flow because you kind of got that argument between Yama and Mayuri.
Yeah.
Dialogue is good. Obviously limited action because it's just two people talking to each other. Good music because we had that music playing. There's no
Hmm.
sound effects. Um, Rate the scene a 5. Like, it's a good scene if you're like a Yama fan or a Mayuri fan because you kind of have like Yama ruthlessly scolding Mayuri, and then you got that huge Mayuri comeback at the end of it where he's like, "Nah, this is all because of you."
Hmm.
And Mayuri going, "I've seen this in Soul Society. Ever since I saw Let's Do Uri, I knew this could happen. And you didn't kill that one guy."
That one guy, yeah.
Yama just got one guide.
Yeah.
Now we got Aeon versus Quippy, and then Ichigo off guard. Well, this isn't really Aeon versus Quip Tip Q-Tip. Q-Tip
There we go.
Q-Tip just does Skylove Ray. Well, it's Q-Tip being absolutely destroyed by Aeon, and then Aeon off guarding Aeon it's Aeon destroying Q-Tip, and then Q-Tip off guarding the Tress Species, and then Q-Tip then does Skylove Ray to kill Aeon,
Hmm.
and then Q-Tip then, well, they run away, and then Q-Tip catches up to them, and then Q-Tip does his big power up attack, and then Ichigo off guards him. This is that scene, and then they kind of start their fight, and then it cuts away. So this is the scene where we're up to now. It's good animation. It's got good flow into it. Dialogue is good. Lots of action. Good music and good sound effects. I rated this scene as 6. What did you think of the thing?
Yeah, 6 is fine too. Definitely above serviceable.
Yeah. Kisuke and Pache have a Donda Chaka running scene.
It's a 10.
It's limited animation. Good flow. Dialogue is good. There's some like
Uh,
obviously there's a few jokes there.
Dialogue is masterfully written, especially from Kisuke.
The narrative, limited action, good
I didn't say
sounds, some sound effects. I rated it as I mean 10.
that. You don't have to ask me what I rate this. This is a 10.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean,
it's an
no,
amusing
and
scene.
then yeah, like the way they chose to do Kisuke's detection of Yuhabak is just very effective.
Yeah, I thought this
You
originally
know,
might have
like
been for Grimjaw, but this definitely was for Ewok. Invading Soul
yeah,
Society.
yeah, well, yeah, because like I mean, the reveal for Grimjaw is much later.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But I mean, yeah, that was real. That was a very good transition between the two scenes.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
I mean, you have the context of Kisuke being, very semi all knowing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is where we have the
So
Uryu Disney Princess run. Ryukin confronts Uryu in his office.
yeah.
There's some animation there, because we were doing the run. I rated it really high because the Disney Princess run is really funny.
Agree.
There's good flow with it because obviously we got that fight between Ryukin and Ryu. I actually didn't realize how good like those two actually are as a dynamic when I was watching it. Obviously, there's no
Mhm.
action because there's a parent and a child squabble. There's some music there, and then, there's no sound effects because it's those two fighting each other basically, having a heated argument.
Yeah.
I rated this scene as a 5. I found the Disney Princess run funny. What did you think of the scene? You've
Jesus.
already
Yeah.
kind of talked
Agree.
about the Disney. Yeah, free. Uh, all right. So the next part is we have the Quincy's invading. So this is where Basby destroys a couple of guys. Jurum comes through
A
Supper.
couple guys,
Yeah, absolutely destroys them.
like who?
Um, there's
You're a punk.
Izuru. This is So
Oh,
there's
yes,
so
yes,
this is
Kira.
Izuru's squad. No, I was thinking of the guys afterwards. I wasn't thinking about Izuru. I actually
Well,
forgot
yeah,
about.
but you didn't
No,
mention.
no, I
You
forgot
said,
about
yeah,
Izuru.
you didn't mention this before.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I forgot about Izuru. Like, when I said a couple of guys, I thought of those three guys. I forgot about
Oh
Izuru
my god,
completely.
you fucker. I mean, I guess that goes into the because we're missing some context, but of course, like this episode theoretically would have included the lieutenant's meeting that was cut,
Yeah,
and Kira was a notable participant in that meeting.
yeah. They have
Like
that nice little talk against thing. Like the thing is, it's a nice little good scene for Izuru, but
yeah.
for like everyone else. Actually, no, it was a good scene for Ikuku and
I mean,
Yamachika.
yeah, if you're gonna get what is this logic? You're gonna we need to show fucking fake Aizen so that we feel bad for him when he dies. But Kira, yeah, like he can
It's a
we can cut his
it's part of the main sequence. To be honest, it's part of the
this is
main
that's
sequence.
ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. But like that's part of the context of that. So that was
Yeah, yeah,
cut, and so then when you get to Kira, he's up on the forefront of like, oh, all right, here's our first enemy, and he just gets completely one-shotted, like immediately
yeah.
taken out,
Burner Finger one.
gruesomely too. They show like the whole the arm is like, I mean, it's subtle that if you miss, like the arm's been cut off too.
Yeah,
His hand is holding the sword. Because that's how perception blitzed he was.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, a lot of great touches. I mean, it's. I mean, there's a lot going on in this. I mean, you could say relatively quote unquote scene because like technically it's like 20 scenes in one.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I missed it because it's like I've got
That's
out of
fair.
all
That's
the scenes we have I have
I
one,
mean,
two,
you
three,
just
four,
because
five,
you
six,
mentioned
seven,
Basby and then you
8,
just skip
9, 10,
the thing
11,
that Basby
12,
did.
13, 14, 15, 15 scenes.
Yeah, but
So
I
many.
mean, this is. I mean, I'm not prone to hyperbole, but with the exception of what I would know would be tens, for me this would be a nine because like this was the perfect build up for what the Quincy invasion was and why it was so
Yeah,
well
same.
known in the Bleach fandom. Like the music was top tier, the animation, like everyone looked so good in this.
Yeah.
Jugrim has a wonderful performance. The voice acting is top notch. There's just so much going on, and it's probably one of the best lead-ins for like tune in next week.
Yeah, because we got Jugrim basically saying we're gonna annihilate all you Soul
I mean,
Reapers.
how much have we not? I mean, we could miss so much because like we see Bambietta, we see um Askin, we see
Yeah.
a lot of great designs with these people. Like I mean, sure we know what's gonna happen to someone like Driscoll, but like it's such a good lead-in of like, holy fuck, what are these guys gonna do?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I originally had yeah as a six, but for your reasons, I definitely agree with it. I'll probably raise it to a nine or an eight or something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, why were you
It
thinking
was a good
six?
sequence. It was I had good animation, good flow. Dialogue is good, good action, good music. It's
Yeah.
good sound effects, but it's like um, I could raise it up to it, but it's like with the scenes later when you get the Yamamoto fight because
You know,
those
yeah,
scenes are
that's why
gonna
I'm
be
not
like
giving it
yeah,
like a 10. That's why I'm not giving it a
Oh,
10
that's
or
why I'm worried
anything
about
like
giving
that.
it
If
like a
anything,
9 or an 8. I'm like trying to be
if
refrained on
anything,
other
yeah, like if
scenes to
anything, like
keep.
8 would be like the minimum, I guess you could say. Nothing lower than an 8. But like for
Yeah,
me, like yeah, I think 9 is actually very,
yeah.
very good
That's
because
the thing.
like I mean,
I'm just getting worried
I
about
think
giving
it,
too many scenes 8, 9s, and
yeah,
10s.
I think it holds up like
Yeah,
as part of like one of the best scenes in Core 1 minimum.
yeah,
But I
that's
would
fine.
say even with like everything that's going on in Core 2, like I feel like if we review Core 4 and go like, oh man, that moment with this guy and that guy was so legendary, then like yeah, then I guess you could go back and go like, oh okay, this could probably be an 8. But
Yeah,
so far it's still been with now having a whole other core to like reflect back on. Even with this, I think the scene holds up for like, damn, this was one of the e quintessential, not quintessential, not Kyoge
because
essential.
because that ending scene, I might I'm about to talk the ending score now. I'll probably raise it to a 7 instead of a 6 that I originally had.
Yeah.
So the ending scene really saves this episode.
I don't know about saves. Makes, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, makes like that's the defining it's the defining
Yeah.
moment of the
Well,
episode.
saves implies that like, well, that it needs saving.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I
But
mean,
it's like it
not to be just
makes the it's like the defining moment where
yes.
people would either walk out of the film or stay in the film. Is a way of
Mhm.
phrase it. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Definitely, I'll definitely probably raise it to a 7. I know I have that one episode score, one scene as like 8. That'll be fine. So what did you think of the full episode all up?
I agree with your score, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about this episode?
I mean, that was my point. Like, essentially, that there's so much that we are gonna end up not talking about when it comes to
Yeah.
the last sequence. A lot happened.
I'm probably gonna be talking about this
So
all over
I mean,
again when I
that
force
just
everyone
shows
to
like
watch the Blu-ray. To be
right, but
honest.
that just shows like how much is going on. Is the fact that we're like it. Like for example, if you're really happy about having seen Rukia and Renji's reactions, like
Yeah.
and then we didn't mention that, or the specific like I mean we didn't mention the head blowing scene, the gun. I mean yeah, I mean, that like we talked about Kira, but then we didn't talk about the gun scene.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like that's how much happened.
Or yeah, and Bazby's brutal line. Sorry, we're here to kill all you, basically.
But yeah.
There was probably a lot to talk about that one scene where the Quincy's invade because it's like we have Asnot and everyone showing up. Actually, you probably thought that Bazby and Jugum had more parts to play because they got like the kind of like the good lines and the good openers for it. You would never expected
Mhm.
Asnot to actually have anything because I think he only has like one scene where he just shows up.
Mhm.
Like you just see him without the hoodie on,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I think like a lot of this, you don't actually know who's important, even at this
Right,
point.
right, right.
Or like even Kane Do, like because Kane Do's like biggest heyday is Core One, like that's his like episodes, even though it
Yeah.
wasn't much. All right, I might as well wrap up this live stream up. If you liked the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Leave a comment if you have something you want to mention. Maybe something we've forgotten. Like, there's definitely probably scenes where I probably forgotten because I even forgotten about Izuru as much as Frankie hates it. And there's probably other things in there along the way. Like even the meeting that they did. I didn't even remember that it was this episode.
Yeah.
There's probably other things. So, leave a comment about anything you like or anything you dislike, or maybe even if you dislike one of the scores, maybe you disagree with me. You can definitely be moved on it. Just leave a comment about that and your reason, or a reason that you want Frankie to look at as well. I'll definitely make sure that he takes a look at it. Um, I'll see you in the next episode next week, which may be either a JJK review or a power clipping video. It depends on what happens. Um, Frankie, is there any socials or anything you want to shout out? And could you say goodbye to the stream?
Goodbye, my friends. It was another great stream. Enjoyable. Gonna get to episode 4 eventually.
Definitely. This is gonna be one of those series that just like keeps on going, unfortunately, because it's like one of those contents that you just gotta do, and then it's like one episode a week. Because otherwise, it's gonna be like 1 hour or 2 hours, and nobody will watch it. All right, I'll see you all in the next one.